Visit with the mayors on Wednesday, and John Nichols here this morning from City College Station. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good morning. Rather humid, sticky south Gulf air blew in on us.
But you know, the thing is, in June, we're talking about rain. For the middle of June, that's pretty good in College Station.
That's true, and we're 4 or 5 inches ahead of the curve, but most of that came in May.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the mosquitoes will be out soon, I'm sure. Got a council meeting coming up tomorrow night. A lot of stuff going on. Like to address a few of the things that you have there. You've got a fee reduction or waivers for affordable housing. You're looking at this. Council asked the staff to come up with something back in a May meeting. Tell me what we're looking at there.
Yeah, that's an opportunity to have a discussion, and keep in mind this is essentially a new council compared to when we last really had a discussion of impact fees and how we set the collection rate, and it gives a chance for us to look more deeply at the issues that, in all honesty, Representative Dyson brought forward. That we've always thought about is that what is the impact of impact fees on the price of housing in College Station, and so. It's not just impact fees, it's all of our fees, development, parkland dedication fees, parkland development fees, all permit fees, all of those. We're going to look at it, and there's a number of council members that are very concerned about the affordable housing or accessible housing consideration, and I think it's a fair topic to have a workshop discussion. What do we mean by affordability? Can you really affect that by adjusting the fees? Will the market drive everything anyway, which is an underlying concern of any economist, that doesn't really matter what fees you charge because the market's going to carry the final price. So we're going to have a lot of discussion of that, and I think it's a good time to have that aired out a little bit, since this council we're operating under decisions made a couple of years ago about the collection rate for impact fees.
Any growing city is looking at the situation of density and what do we do to be as affordable as possible. One of the things that we have talked about before and was discussed, I think, right before this council turned over, was the idea of going vertical when it comes to affordable housing. Where are we with that?
Well, I say we're very well along in that. If you take a look at the density in College Station, it's increasing substantially. We're looking at a condo project over on 2818 at this meeting. It's a rezoning or land use change rezoning. Small project, infill. A lot of them out at P&Z's got on their schedule. Some of those along the Harvey Road corridor between Harvey Road and University. That's all townhomes. So the density is certainly there in terms of what we're encouraging, and we've authorized a lot of minimum lot size properties as well.
But what I'm thinking, one of the largest, 2,700 acres right here behind Crystal Park Plaza, which I think is on the Dartmouth extension. Now, but am I supposed to consider a new townhome as affordable housing?
Well, you decide that. It's a lot less expensive to build. There's a row of townhomes going in by Stylecraft in Midtown, right the edge of their current single-family detached properties. So I think the fact that Stylecraft is in that business and builds production homes, as you know, they've been able to align the budget and the finances to open those up, and I think they're selling somewhere in the upper 200,000s.
Well, we can move on because we can talk about this for a long time. It's not going away anytime soon. You've also contracted to have an economic master plan upgrade come. Organization's going to come in and do this, and you're putting together, or you're having the city manager's office put together an advisory or steering committee. Yes. Why do we need a steering committee? Because these people are coming in to look at your master plan.
Hey, you need a steering committee, which includes people who are familiar with the existing market, but that includes 3 members of council who are the Economic Development Committee, and I'm one of those 3, William Wright and Bob Yancey is the other 2. You'll have 2 or 3 other city people. You'll have people from Texas A&M, and you'll have 4 or 5 business people from the community that are involved in development and economic development, business development, that sort of thing, help provide some of the reality. Meanwhile, and they're steering. That's the whole idea of a steering committee. They're a group that they can bounce ideas off of after they've done the outreach and talk to the public.
But aren't the people who are looking at your master plan already in reality? I don't understand why we need...
Of course they are. In terms of national strategies and national best practices, absolutely. That's why you hire an outside consultant. But they don't know College Station. They don't understand the subtleties of Texas A&M's impact on the university, on the attractiveness of business coming into here because of our unique mix of consumers in the city and the region. So they don't know everything. You don't expect them to know everything. They're supposed to be reaching out and having engagement sessions with different groups of stakeholders. As I mentioned, one of those is March 26th, the Business Over Breakfast. Mm-hmm. That is the first of a stakeholder meeting with this outside consulting group that's going to be gathering information. They use the steering committee as a sounding board. They bring it back, they condense it, they lay out main themes, and they say, does this really make sense? Is this where it's going? Mm-hmm. And what do you think about it? And that's what the steering committee does. It steers the process.
Yeah. John Nichols, the mayor of College Station, with us. MPO, Metropolitan Planning, has come up with some funding opportunities. You're looking at some of those. One of them, timber at George Bush. This is, if people don't know where Timber Street is, that's right at the corner of where the golf course is against George Bush. So
right next to school property.
Exactly, mm-hmm. Right. So there you're trying to get bikes and pedestrians to be able to play happily and safely with cars, right?
That's the main idea of that project. It'll be a grant, and we're just applying for a grant from the MPO. We don't know whether we'll be successful, but we need to do something further at that intersection, particularly now that we've got the protected bike lanes on Bush.
And then also, I think over on University Oaks and Munson in that general area, same reason that we've got pedestrian traffic, we've got bike traffic.
Yeah, and that's a similar concern.
So we've had in our news today, yesterday, the county commissioners went ahead and extended or amended the Fuji agreement because they've decided that they do want to expand here. College Station going to take the same action tomorrow night?
We're going to consider the same action tomorrow night. I can't speak for the whole council, but I would say that we've been briefed on this. It's been an ongoing discussion since they had reorganized their corporate structure from Tokyo on down. And I think they're very serious about it now. And we've got everything aligned so that we can, under the legal structures that are available to us, reconsider this agreement and agree to the new proposal, which is what the Commissioners Court considered and passed yesterday. I'm optimistic about it. I think Fujifilm is exactly the kind of corporate structure we need here. Offers really good jobs, and this new agreement will allow us to encourage them to not only stay here but to grow here, and growing is part of our mission.
Finally, let's go back to impact fees for a minute because you are going to hear a report tomorrow night about impact fees. We know it's an emotional issue. We know a lot of people want to talk about it. But what are some findings that we're going to see based on what you're going to get as a report tomorrow night?
Well, the report tomorrow night is a required semi-annual update, so it covers the period from October 1, 2024 through the end of March 2025. And it's simply required that the city engineer provides an update on how much we've collected and in each category of water, wastewater, and then the 4 different roadway impact fee zones. And the numbers will show a significant increase, I would say, for that period of time. And my, as I call it in my academic framework, working hypothesis is that we've seen some permits given for some very large high-rise dormitory, well, not dormitories, but rent by the bedroom complexes over Northgate. So that particular zone has more than it's gone up by 50% over the total of last year in terms of impact fees. So those big structures are paying a lot of the impact fees. It isn't just the individual single-family homes.
But that does skew the numbers now, because you're not going to do that every year.
No, that's lumpy. It's lumpy, but and that's why you do it semi-annually. You look at that, and that just provides us a snapshot view of what happened in that 6 months. There's no change in any of our collection rates. We're not doing anything new. This is a report on what has happened under our current structure. And keep in mind, we did discuss and approved a previous council 2 years ago a gradated increase in the collection rate, January 1 of 24, January 1, 25, and January 1, 26. So those have been the collection rates have been what's been debated in the past. Under this. Now, what happens after that, as far as I know, until somebody makes a proposal, we won't be changing that going forward. But that's not part of the discussion tomorrow night.
Okay. Anything else going on tomorrow?
Well, I just want to mention that you maybe notice if you're looking at TV, I've got a red, white, and blue shirt on. Don't forget that the I Heart America celebration, July 4th, they're still looking for participants and volunteers. And so you can go online to csdx.gov/iHeartAmerica, get updated on that. Starlight Music this Saturday night, Tejano Music.
All right.
Is coming up, and Dive-In Movies on Friday night at 7:30, $7 a person at Adamson Lagoon. Kids under 2 are free. So lots of good things going on. Somebody will be here Friday to update you on some of those.
Sure, that's it. And yes, you can see this interview on our YouTube channel. It's the mayor of College Station. Thanks for the time this morning.
Thank you.
You bet.